Okay, for some reason this thing's taking a while to load. Huh. Okay, can't hear me yet? Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Yeah, for some reason I'm getting that circular thing going around and around and I can't. You can hear me on Twitch? Okay, great. Yeah, we can begin. Okay, so we should probably go back. Okay, on this check, you played this move. What do you think of it? I know you didn't have very much time to consider the consequences since you're in Byoyomi, but I was wondering what you thought of this move. Was it okay, or was there a better alternative? Right, that was a huge thing. Okay, where would you place the pawn? 4-8. That is a way to go. Um, I think instinctively I want to play here. Oh yeah, let me mute the sound on this. Yeah. Uh, the reason why is because you see later on my king might want to go up the board, and when the pawn is here, it ends up defending this square. That's the reason why I'd rather put it here than on, let's say here. This one's purely defensive, although it might well be okay. Um, I would probably have to push like this and threaten to promote next, but you're kind of holding on like this, and it's going to be a little difficult to continue my attack. See, dropping a pawn here, it's going to take some time, and you're going to be able to promote your bishop down here, so you're going to get counterplay. If I ever do a move like this, you're just going to drop the pawn here to defend. Oh, wait. Push, push, push. Yeah. Well, maybe I have this, though. Hmm. Yeah. I think my king is really in a scary situation. You see, the king is defending the gold, so all you have to do is keep attacking the king, so I move out of the way and the silver ends up dropping. So, yeah, my position doesn't look very comfortable. Yeah. Does that kind of make sense? then here, what move is better now? You notice our kings are in kind of close proximity, relatively close proximity to each other. So, do you have a move here that you could try? Okay. Yeah, this kind of makes sense because you end up attacking and defending at the same time. If here, I don't know, maybe you can hmm. I'm pretty sure you're going to end up winning the Gyokto-sen. I just have to find the moves. Do you know what Gyokto-sen is? Here, let me type it for you. Gyokto. The kanji is not coming up. Gyokto. There we go, Gyokto-sen. This is a fight at the head of the kings, and it's extremely important to win such a fight. Do you see why? Well, do you understand why? Well, because the kings are pretty close to each other, what ends up happening is that moves in this general area. If you can end up winning the fight, you notice that the person who ends up getting control of this area, it's going to add defense to his king while attacking at the same time. So in some ways, it almost like counts for double. And what I guess I can show that maybe like here, and then here, I don't know, maybe a check or something. Here, and then I guess you can just take here. You notice my king's been driven back, and your king was made safer. If I grab like here, all you have to do is block the rook, and you notice Look, king is safe, right? So you attacked and defended at the same time. Can you see that? That your king is safe? Yeah. While mine is being pressured. See this, let me clear the arrows. You see this thing is still being hit. So let's say something like this. Maybe you can just keep pushing, and then look how safe your king is. Oh, yeah. So that's why this move would fail, because there's this space, these spaces in front for you to end up attacking my king. So that means, I guess, why do the check unless I'm gonna grab this guy? So if I grab here, then what can you do? Two-five knight. I assume you mean drop. Yeah, there is that. I just have to move the rook, probably, I don't know, here. Yeah, this probably is okay. Um, and then you could probably drop a pawn here, and then I'd have to run. Maybe you can. Uh, hmm. Yeah, there's probably something more clearer here. Because of this knight's protecting his square, one thing you could do is block off the rook by doing a move like this. Uh, and you can continue to attack. So you see, again, you're winning the Gyokuto Sen. That's a simple variation. Another thing you can try is this, because I can't take because of the knight fork. So what I'll probably have to do is just move the rook somewhere. If I do this, maybe you can just fork it and get the thing back. Either of those look kind of promising. I'd probably have to pull this guy back. So you notice now that my rook isn't attacking your king anymore. So there's still a lot of technical difficulties with this position. So you could have kept things very complicated this way. Yeah, I actually think like this one. I think this one looks pretty straightforward. Okay. Aren't I helping your king escape when I use that kind of structure to... Well, yeah, but before the king could head in, excuse me, could head in two different directions. It's kind of spacious. Whereas after this, it can only head in one direction. Excuse me, one direction. So I'd say no, because it could go this way anyway. You're stopping my king from going up the board. And also by doing this, you notice it's adding defense around your king at the same time. So I'm in quite a bit of trouble. See, if I take, then you could probably just, I don't know. Here? Take, check. What move would you play here? Here. This move is, yeah, that, you know, that would work. Another really strong move is just this. That way you don't have to use the gold. See? I hope you've been doing your Tsume Shogi. You see, because now how do you play if I take it? Yeah, what's your next move? Yeah. Okay, king goes up and then there's mate with the pawn. Just enough. So this move is very light. You see, in comparison to the other variation, you haven't used the golden hand. So that's to your benefit. So you always want to be looking for light moves because these are very efficient. See? This is okay. But you notice this gold is heavy. I mean, you are winning for sure, but you're making the technique take longer. It isn't as efficient as this. That's part of the reason why it's very important to spot tactics like this 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 kind of light move. Otherwise, you're going to be playing very heavy, inefficient moves. Okay. So that means probably I'll have to move this guy back, and then you can keep attacking. Let's see. Maybe one way is just check. You know, you might be able to just 4-5 knight. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. That does look pretty good. Because you have moves like this or this next. So yeah, that's a good move. Um, this kind of move is also looks like it'll work. Uh, Maybe you can just exchange everything off. I don't think I'm gonna have enough to attack your king. Maybe, although it is getting kind of scary around this area, so you do have to, you know, exercise some caution. But yeah, I like your move. Because of this, you just grab here. Good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this was a very good move. See, there's very bad Aji around my king because of this pin. So after I did this, what do you play if I do that? Yep, just take it. See, this guy's stuck. Cannot grab it because my king dies. Okay. So here, probably probably better than what I did in the game was would have been this. I think you noticed these moves before. Like this. This is a Tetsuji. You know, drawing the major pieces. So if you grab here, then I don't know, maybe like this. And it also helps block the diagonal. Whoops, the diagonal. So it's a nebari here. Okay. What would you have done if I had done it here? I'm actually thinking this might have been a better move. But what would you do? Probably retreat the rook. Okay. Yeah, what square? Yeah, that's just, I think it's just losing. This I just grab here, and then I get out of the way. Well, there is some complication because of that. Yeah, not 100% clear. You're getting activity. I don't know. Maybe I could have done that though. But to here. Okay, and if I grab here. Yeah. You know, the funny thing is that I actually miscalculated during the game. I looked at both this and this. And the reason why I rejected this was because of the silver, the position of the silver. But, you know, on the other hand, these two pieces are still being attacked. So the knight hasn't sabakied. So it's because of just on general principles that I ended up playing a bad move. The miscalculation was this. I just simply forgot that you end up with a knight in hand after the thing gets traded. So really kind of silly, thing, but that's what happened. Okay. Okay. Regarding this and this, what do you think my comment will be about that? This is actually a bad shape. It's bad, and the reason why it's bad is uh, these two pieces, are they attackers or defenders? Attackers, right? So that means that these things are going to advance, and whenever you use attacking pieces, it ends up leaving weaknesses in their wake. And you notice that the king is right next to them, where all the action is going to take and holes are going to start forming. So it ends up becoming bad shape because of the position of the king. It's a misplacement of the king. Ideally, where would you, if you could move this king to a different square, where do you think it should be? Five eight. Yeah, 5-8 would be a much better square. Uh, but I think even better is if you move the gold up here and the king ends up, excuse me, gold moves up here and the king ends up where the gold was. So you're pretty far away from this area. Then this thing will start making sense. Let me just show you. Or excuse me, this guy falls. This guy falls. Uh, okay, and then this guy can go here or here. And go here. Either that or another consideration is just to do this immediately. And you see the king is far away from this area. You notice there's all these holes that were left because of the attack. Those are all spaces where my pieces could go. And you see, as soon as this pawn on the fourth file is dropped off, I'll be able to use it on the fourth file too. So if your king is like in this vicinity, it's going to give me chances to counterattack it. That's why it's very important for your king to be away from your attacking pieces. Okay. If here, then you can maybe do this. If here, then you can just drop like this. You have a really strong position. Did that make sense? Okay. So the other thing is you played this, and so you're probably going to swing your rook somewhere to the other side of the board. Okay, that's what this this pawn signals. So this also makes sense because when the rook goes this way, it's away from your king this time. But this move, maybe what should you have considered instead? Taking into account those comments that I made previously. 3/8 silver. Yeah, that's a perfectly good move. The main thing is you don't want to block the rook. So you can do this now or later. You can do the rook move now or later. Let's see. Now what would you do? Start. No, no, you. What would you do? Start moving. What about your rook though? Yeah, but your king is here. It's by your rook. Remember what we talked about before? You want to keep the rook and the king apart. I mean, I guess you could do this again, but I guess at some point, what do you want to play? King to your left, but you already made a move here, so I guess you could change your mind though. But if you want to keep everything consistent, what would you play? Considering you've done this move, this move, this move, what move would kind of harmonize with all of those other setup moves? Yeah, you move the rook here, or maybe even here, and then you can exchange off the pawns. Okay. Yeah. The thing about moving the rook on this side is, you notice this gold? It's well positioned to defend against up here, and I'm probably going to try to get play by attacking your rook. That's the only downside. So in terms, although it still should be perfectly fine for you, you just have to be a little careful. Uh, so I would say at this point, because the silver is here, maybe in terms of Taikyokukan, let me type. Do you know that term, Taikyokukan? Yeah, it's like positional judgment, whole board judgment. So we see the gold and silver on this side. You notice how far away it is from my king? So one thing that should jump out at you immediately is, well, maybe I can start attacking, in this area, because these guys are far away. So instead of pushing here, where I'm strong, you end up trying to hit my weaknesses. which is in, in this area. So you can do stuff like this. Um, and then we just go back into what we did before, what you did before. Um, except instead of moving the king here, where do you move the king? Yep, you move it away from these guys. And then maybe you can do this or things like this. And then you should get a good game. Notice this guy here isn't doing anything. The silver is really bad. So by playing on this side of the board, you end up keeping my silver. I mean, you make use of the fact that my silver is misplaced. That's what the Taikyo Kukan is. So you glance at the board and you see certain positional aspects about it, and then that's how you decide how to make a plan. So to me, this makes a lot more, striking in the weak area makes a lot more sense than what happened in the game, where it's almost like you're mixing systems. So this and this signal Hinari Bisha, but then you went and you played a setup where you usually have the king here. So the balance is really bad. Okay. So I think that's about all that I wanted to discuss for this one. Did you... Wait, no. Actually, there was one more thing. Take a look at the time that you spent. Do you remember around where you're getting into Byoyomi? Uh, yeah, it was kind of early, but look at your time. Look, it's like 4 seconds here, 3 seconds here, 5 seconds here, 3 seconds here. You're not using your Byoyomi time well. What you should be doing is waiting, trying to use the time and let the Byoyomi count down to the final seconds before you play your move. I know it gets kind of nerve-wracking, but you have to fight the temptation to, because you don't accrue time, you don't gain any more time. It means that the minute allotted to you, you should use as much of it as you can, because it can't be saved for later. Okay? So maybe you could have at least waited, I don't know, 55, 56 seconds or so. Yeah. Because that time ends up adding up. You do not want to blitz me. So time management. Okay. Did you have any questions about this? last few moves. This one, or further back. Were you planning on dropping a gold to 7-7? No. Because right now, this is just mate. Do you mean further back? Okay. Here, let's see. Why I dropped that pawn. Yeah, one possibility is this. Like here. Because I end up attacking here and here. Another thing I could do is yeah, actually that I don't know if promoting the huh yeah, this probably this. And then I threaten here. If you drop the knight here, yeah, there's my king's just gonna run up. Let's see, maybe here. This is a threat mate. Like here. This mate. Like that. So if here, there's like this, and yeah. Yeah, the thing about this check, whoops. Let's see. Yeah, the thing about this check is I guess I could also run here. So my king is pretty safe, although Yeah, I can't figure out. Yeah, even this way, it's safe enough. So yeah, I wanted to force you to move the silver. If you take like this, maybe I can threaten mate here and then grab like this. So you probably want to defend, but yeah, you end up getting the body though. Hmm. Yeah, if I grab here, then you maybe you can do that. Nebari is a resistance in bad positions. So the position is definitely worse for you. So you have to find ways to avoid immediate collapse, do some sort of damage control. Yeah, I'd probably just have to grab like this. Uh, this this dragon is very good in attack and defense. Maybe you could actually wait. You see, there's still some technical difficulties. Although I could take here. And was this check? Oh, excuse me. There's this. You have to defend against this first. So maybe like this. But then I take here. And then this guy falls next, if nothing else. Yeah, it might still be difficult for you. But taking the pawn was definitely a Nabati continuation. 5-6 pawn at what point? You mean here? Or the stuff I erased? Still knight drop? Further on. No. Hmm. What happens if I just press here? Yeah, well at this point I'm gonna do it like here. So you mean after here? Now? Now this? Hmm. This square is very, very weak. This is the only thing defending it, so if I can do something about the bishop, I don't know, maybe like this. Threaten the bishop and mate. Yeah. This does this work too? Oh no, you move here. Wait, actually it might. Yeah, this works too. If you do here, I just drop the pawn. This one is no gold, no defense. If you take here, then just grab here. Threaten mate again. Check. If you block it like this, then mate here. If king runs here, just check. And then mate. Like that. Yeah. Did you have any other questions? Okay, so as usual, at the end of the lesson, I always ask, what did you learn today? So hit me. Please, please tell me a few points of what you picked up. Of course, when I send you the score of this game, I'll include a summary like last time, but I want to see what you remember yourself. Yep, there's that. Anything else? Yeah, why is that so important? Right. Yeah, Migi Gyoku is a bit different. Yeah, why is that so important? Keeping king the king and the attacking pieces away from each other. Yeah, when you attack, there's weaknesses left in the attacking piece's wake. Right? So you want the king to be away from the vulnerable area. Okay. What else did you learn? Don't block with valuable pieces. Yeah, that is actually pretty important. What about here? What concept did you learn? No, it's Gyokuto Sen. Yeah, and what does that mean? Yes, it's a fight at the heads of the kings. And why is it important to win a Gyokuto Sen? Yeah, it attacks and defends at the same time. So you attack the opponent's king while making your king safer. Yeah, that's why a move like this should come into consideration. And what else did you learn? Yep, hopefully about time management, the practical side of competitive play. Yep, make sure that you use as much of your byoyomi as you comfortably can before moving. Because if you don't use it, you lose it anyway. Okay. Okay, and the final thing, right, was what is Taikyokukan? Yeah, it's full board perception. It's kind of a general kind of positional assessment. So right now you see that my pieces aren't doing anything here, and because they're off on the side, this area is weak. So that means that you want to attack in this area. Okay. Alright. So I think that's about it for today. I want to thank all of the people who were watching, as well as my student, Gray John. If you have any questions or comments, you may reach me at alexi2539@gmail.com. I'm available also for private lessons, so if you're interested, please feel free to contact me. And if you wish to support the stream, you can do so by clicking the blue Pac-Man ghost on the bottom of the screen where it says donations. And yeah, only if you want to. It's not necessary. I'm just happy that you guys could be here to join us today. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye.